go time! We're about to see which creator and pro will rise to the top. This is FNCS Pro-Am. 40 competitors. 20 duos. All legends of the game. Stepping into Reload together.
Are you happy with your Pro-Am partner?
Yes, but the fact we played no games together, and I don't really know where we're dropping, is not a great sign, but I think on the day we may be able to pull something out the bag.
Yeah, of course, he's really good.
You wouldn't trade him with anyone?
I don't think so, unless it was facts, because that's my brother. I don't think I'd even trade him.
We're gonna win it. He's the high ground king. I'm the king of family friendly, bro. It's the best.
No one else you wanted better? Are you sure?
No one else. Oh, yeah.
Okay, just checking.
We're gonna WQ you and your duo, and then I'm gonna kill Peter Bot, and then I'm gonna wake up and realize it was all a dream.
I am very happy with my partner. If he would reply to any of my messages or show up ever, I'd be thrilled. I would trade my Pro-Am partner for nobody in the world.
I love Click's my best friend. I'm very happy with my Pro-Am partner.
You wouldn't trade him for anyone?
I would say you, but I'm not going to trade him for you, you know.
Yes.
You sure you don't want anyone else?
I'm good.
No trading, okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Wait, you want to trade? Yeah, that's kind of weird for Alex, no?
I'm pretty happy with Savage as my prime partner. Loki wanted Alex. I would trade him for Peter Bot, maybe.
He's literally right there. He said he would trade you. You're the only one that said that you'd trade him.
She's lying. Bro, she's lying.
We would be there doing card changes, color changes, putting cards up on the place.
Oh, finally we're in peace. I swear I'm gonna get nostalgia already. Come on, I get nostalgia on anything. Yeah, I know. I mean, who could blame me? Even though there was one in the United States. Let's go. This is IMAX. This is the biggest room in the history of the theater. Honestly, a good creation on it. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I 6. I don't know, I'm singing hard. With other players, so he's constantly in those conversations, right? Not to mention
7 and 8. Whoa. Take it out. 7 and 20. Let's go. To the left. 19, 8 out. 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, and 7. Okay, here it is.
Thanks for coming with me tonight.
No, I love robots.
So, what's your favorite movie?
In space.
In space. What zombies?
Get 2 Cokes and a popcorn.
Oh my gosh, I love that movie.
So you cool if I scream? Like a lot.
Excuse me.
Welcome to Regal Entertainment. Refreshments are available in the lobby. And please, keep our theater clean by disposing of trash in specified containers. And remember, gift certificates are available for any special occasion. Enjoy the show.
The boys are ready to hit the ground running and combine maximum content with pure skill. It's showtime.
Stop it! Booga! And typical gamer! A World Cup title paired up with world-class content. This is the perfect recipe for success.
Whoa, TG, my fault. OG. I did not know you were absolutely yoked.
Their names are Alex and Loser Fruit, but there's no losers in sight. It's time to represent Power and Oceania. Dan Loaded, Thomas, and Somerset. This lobby better watch out, because with these two around, first is the only thing on their mind.
Hey, Alex, we got paired up with Loser Fruit. I mean, in yesterday's practice games, guys, Alex was going crazy. Thankfully, they had Callum come out with them. Man, these guys are looking really, really strong.
Yeah, when we were watching the games, there I am seeing a player with like 8 eliminations. I'm like, oh, of course, Peterbot's going crazy. Oh, wait, no, that's Alex. Alex is eliminating everyone.
Another one of those instances where we're reminded by one of these international players kind of joining us here on the stage that they are just so good mechanically. I was talking to Alex just before we started, and he was like, yo, Vivid, like, hype me up. I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? I don't need to. You were dropping crazy elimination yesterday. Just do that again. Everybody will be hyped for you.
100%. 4-time FNCS champ on OCE. You were mentioning it, Kelly. He had the highest amount of eliminations in any of the practice matches yesterday.
I have a very small insight from Loser Fruit as well. We had a very deep conversation. Said, Loser Fruit, what do you want out of the weekend? She said, I want one thing, one elimination.
Good. And they're not looking to go home empty-handed. Show us what you got.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Mongrel and Allier, Britain's finest, some might say, with tons of experience in the bag. They're ready to put others in the bin. Let's hear it for Courage, JD, and Cole. Pretty bold to announce yourself as the champion already, but we respect it. Let's see you back up that statement. PK and Moxie coming together. I mean, I feel like the stadium, they've chosen their winners.
Oh yeah, I mean, landing over in East Slurpee Swamp right there, they have a great position, but also Cypher PK, even though he is a content creator, he is an incredible competitor. And then of course, Moxie, winner of the Milk Cup, one of the best female Fortnite pros in the world.
Yeah, a lot of potential here for this duo. Talked to Cypher, he was like, yeah, I love my duo. We got the same game plan. We're jumping in, feeling confident.
I love it. And again, shout out to Make-A-Wish, Luca, Tyler. Thanks for hanging out, but it's time. Let's meet our next four. Queasy and Nick and Birdie. These guys will never back down and look to have an amazing day. I can guarantee to see them on high ground.
Flakes and God has entered the building, everybody. Things are really heating up, and Brazil is coming in hot for today's competition. This is what we have all been waiting for. 1 day and 6 matches to determine who our 2025 FNCS Pro-Am Champ team is going to be. And initially off the jump, Peterbot, Aussie, they've got control of Slurpee, but they've got company.
If that would have just been a Mammoth pistol right out of the gate for Peterbot, I would be worried for Booga and TG, but now it's just a bunch of SMGs. Ozzy already found the Mammoth. He's going to go ahead and deliver that one first class on over to Peterbot as soon as he gets the chance, but they're just going to shield up, get a lot of these chests. In reload, it's about 100% chest spawn, so you got a lot of opportunity to get the loot that you need.
Keep an eye on where Allier and Mongrel are actually going to be headed. Clake's Lacey, a little bit of pressure coming out from Veno and Reddish. And typically, you could expect that some of these POIs, you can just split them even 50-50 for the most part, but I don't think that a 50-50 clean split is the intention here.
No, I don't think it is for the most part, but because of those 100%, there's a lot of floor loot and stuff that you can split it rather safely, or you can choose to fight it later once you do get that full loadout. But I did see in the feed, typical gamer taking down Courage. Now Cypher PK is going down, so a lot of these players already just going right at it to try to get those early elimination points so they don't have to worry about a deficit later on.
And it's always rough to be one of the first players eliminated, because then you're just an open season target for the rest of the lobby. Alex, if he'd had that reload online, we might have even expected to see him fire a shot out of that Mammoth one more time, but Slurpee Swamp getting a little bit encroached upon, and this is Aussie and Peterbot's territory, but more so Peterbot's.
Everybody kind of switching things up. It does look like Seti is just away from where we thought he was going to drop initially and put himself in a 1v2 situation to get Savage and Lachlan. But Savage just gets Mammoth, and I believe it was Peterbot from on top, and already he's moving in for the straight elimination. Down goes Savage as Peterbot is instantly getting busy here in game one.
Peterbot sees action. Peterbot wants his own part of it. Finding that first elimination now means everybody else is left scrambling. Lachlan trying to escape. He knows he is on the hunt, but Peterbot, watch your back. There's more company, more targets in sight.
It's like the Peterbot hit list, and it scores 38 players, every single one. He's trying to get at least a single elimination on everybody in the game. Here in Savage getting rebooted, and these are the big warnings that we were talking about. It's just like a flare in the sky. They know exactly where you're at, and Peterbot is just on the hunt for Mr. Savage yet again, who luckily finds at least a shockwave to create just a little bit more distance.
But how far can you run when Peterbot is chasing you down like this? He still has a couple of shots, one more left inside of this Mammoth, and then it'll be up close and personal. Thunder Shotgun pulled at the ready. Savage clip, but he doesn't have enough HP to tango, and that's gonna be a knock. Another elimination for Peter. Who needs a warm-up when you've got game one to get things done?
Yeah, I don't know if anybody knows, but Savage kind of just helped the lobby right there because you saw Peterbot only had one more Mammoth pistol shot left, so he's not going to be able to do that much damage from far away anymore unless he finds his loot llama in the fact of Aussie Antics to see if you have any more of those that I can borrow. Thomas HD, Somerset, just moving north from their original drop spot, and you can see they have a pretty decent loadout, but when we're looking for Thomas HD, no sniper, no Mammoth pistol, he doesn't have the firepower that we expect him to have yet.
A little bit of you take this, I'll take that from Somerset and Thomas. But Aussie, Peterbot, they're not done. Pete especially, he's just keying everybody. And Mongrel, this is a conversation starter. Peterbot annoyed even that these two would have the audacity to challenge them at Slurpy Swamp. But Peterbot, Allie nearly bringing Pete down. Pete actually going to be forced to pull back, but Aussie, he's got the supportive measure. He knows his responsibility, and he's going to make sure that Pete is safe and sound.
And the little things, Taco, it's the little things right there for Aussie, being able to go in, sneak in. He edited the backside cover for Peterbot to safely escape and gave the shields and heals exactly what he needs in a situation like that, because it was definitely a tough spot to be in for a quick moment. But relatively early, third zone, only one tick of damage. You could still stay and stagger yourself back if you need be.
But you see Aussie play back up, but then immediately goes right back to the farming. It'll be a test of endurance for those two, making their way out of Slurpy Swamp. But Nika, Podazai, can't even classify them as a dark horse because these are two very high-tier competitors. But with the way that they're kind of trying to position right now, Jacob, looks like they don't want to get caught up in too much of that early commotion. They'd rather prioritize the positioning.
Yeah, I was talking to them in the player room before it started. They're just going to play their game. They're not concerned with everybody's drop spots. They're not concerned with everybody's strategies. They're not even concerned with anybody sleeping on them. They say, hey, that's a blessing, because they're not going to see what's coming. And I think they're just focusing on prioritizing the rotation this time around. That's why they're going towards the north. But towards the eastern side of the zone is going to be gone. And Flakes, they've had a rough time. That surprise triple contestation could delay your timing so much.
And even with Baxity and Reason kind of calling out the fact, hey, we're just looking to take the dock side entirely out of Salty Docks, but Cooper made a great point. He called out that those two are eventually going to have to rotate in, and guess where they're going to have to go through? Both of these duos, opposite ends, so the fight was inevitable from Salty, and it's kind of left everybody a little bit more scattered.
Take a look at this, though. Typical gamer, one of the most viewed Fortnite creators in the world right now. And he's carrying the World Cup champion Booga 2 eliminations to 0. He has 7 crash pads, the legendary Slurp Juice. He has a very good loadout. Right now, the only real concern for them is how they're going to make their way in towards zone. They did let 1 or 2 teams already pass them on that rotation, and there's a third towards the north.
Hey, you can't sleep on TG, though. You have to remember, this is someone who's been playing alongside Quinn even out of the West region on NA, and they've been able to have some pretty strong performances. He's definitely a strong competitor. I'm excited to see how they continue to cook in this lobby, but Kanata, Ronaldo, they already got a little bit clipped, a little bit tagged up from Typical Gamer and Booga, so they are very much aware they might be getting pressed here soon.
The Mammoth pistol is going to be in Kanata's hands. They Ronaldo, kind of like clean up loadout, the Stinger. Kanata can land a good amount of damage with that Mammoth pistol. Whether either one of the shotgun or the SMG, he's going to be able to clean that one up easy, but they're just on the side of the mountain. A lot of teams already pressing forward in that rotation. They're just kind of biding their time. They're a team with 2 FNCS champions, by the way, on it, that know that patience is a virtue, and just being able to just slowly let other players make the mistakes that you can capitalize on.
And hey, Alex kind of carrying over that performance from yesterday's practice lobbies. Already 3 eliminations. He's definitely keeping in mind just how impactful those individual elim points will actually amount to. And he's got Gone and Flakes in his sights. Poor Nate Hill doesn't even get a chance to respond. Threw up an attempt to defend himself, but Alex just way too quick on the trigger.
And that's what we were talking about in those practice games. Alex going punch for punch with the likes of Peterbot in terms of getting simple eliminations. As we're seeing the zone, it is going to close up just a little bit, but it's a 50-50 with the whole south side being in the zone, and that's why you see Peterbot and Ozzy just trying to rotate to the north. It's not a ton of damage by any means, Taco, but you can see they're trying to save and utilize their heals for as long as possible.
And the problem is that Chug Jug that Ozzy's holding onto isn't for him. That is got Peterbot's name on it. And the longer that Aussie can hold on to that without having to actually use it on himself, probably the better off they're going to feel with these rotates. And the direction that they're headed, though, Somerset, Thomas HD, they might have an opportunity here to try and cut off some teams, play a little bit of spoiler to this edge of zone.
Yeah, loadout's looking pretty good. They got that Chug Cannon, so that's basically infinite heals. You just need the timing to let them charge up. As Cold and Courage find themselves all the way towards the north, Steamy stacks, but there's about 6 teams on this side of the map. They find themselves in the zone, though. That's a luxury they know they can count on for now.
This is still a nice readjustment in comparison to a lot of the troubles that we saw them encountering in yesterday's practice games. Courage, Cold, they'd rather bide their time. They don't actually have to throw away their positioning anytime soon, but if Regs and Nahill get a little bit too close in their space, you can expect some sparks to fly.
Yeah, and I feel like it's this point of the game, the nerves start to just get a little bit more up there because those reboots are about to turn off in Zone 7. So most of the teams have already rotated. You can see it in the minimap in close proximity of one another. So even though if you go down here, now it's the 6th zone, you will reboot, but where are you going to go? Where are you going to find the loot? So that's why you're seeing a lot of these teams taking it just a little bit more serious than some of the games that we saw yesterday.
Plus, you got to keep in mind, Cooper, Zemi, they were grinding all morning. They've got to be feeling very warmed up, doing nonstop 2v2s up against Kanata and Stable Ronaldo. And the way that they just shockwave towards that center zone, they're bound to get caught up in a little bit of action. But Reddish, Veno, first off, they want to be the ones intervening. Gone and Flake, they've got an exchange up against Kanata. They took out Ronaldo, but Reddish and Veno, they don't want to let up any pressure. They're just going to continuously spray into where that action's taking place.
I just feel so bad for Ronaldo right now. I don't even know where he's going to end up landing, but if he can find his way back to Kanata, that will be good. And they are kind of deep in the back of the zone. This is about what are his chances, which is going to be relatively good. I don't even know how he just done it, but he did it.
And that's what you look at a former FNCS champ for, okay? Ronaldo's got his method. He's got some tricks up his sleeve. He's got a little bit of vengeance. It's typical gamer. Gone and Flakes. Interrupting. That's just so rude.
Just tough spot to be in, too. He couldn't even fully stand up. He was kind of crouched down at the top of the mountain. Cooper, Zemi, honestly, leading up into this Pro-Am, this has to be one of the most predicted teams in top 5, one of the most predicted teams to actually win the FNCS Pro-Am. But hold up, Cole getting busy. Courage said they were going to take out Cypher PK. I'm not sure if he said he was going to do it himself or he was going to let Cole do it for him.
Look, who else was getting their duo bananas? Who else was getting their duo water? Courage, that's who. And it's showing off here. Cole feeling prompt and ready to go. Cypher being the first victim, and possibly many more to come.
And Cypher also in a tough spot. With Moxie being a little bit of a solo here for a few seconds. If she can buy the time, they will. And you hear that sound. Reboots are going to be disabled from here on out. If you go down, you are forced to watch the rest of the game play out.
Oh, every player for themselves, and absolutely nobody is safe. Shockwave or crash pad, whatever direction you want to head, but you've got to keep your head on a swivel, otherwise you might lose it. As Veno so nicely showcased, but Veno and Reddish, They still got their work cut out for them. They know there's a lot of neighbors that they don't necessarily want to be knocking on the doors of just yet. You're trying to draw as little of attention as possible.
Ooh, Ollie, I did see him kind of get targeted by a few players, dropped to a low HP. Peterbot's the one that's actually cleaning up the elimination. Points go to Bugha, loot goes to Peterbot. And that's where you're seeing a whole lot of importance as Moxie, we literally saw her go down. Now we're seeing what happened.